and welcome to my channel. My name is Ronnie and today we're finding ourselves in Evergreen Harbor in the Pinecrest Apartments in this apartment number 404, and we're building an apartment that is all about plants and life. So this apartment is intended for a young family. So there's just one bedroom with of course a bed for two, and we also have a crib in this apartment. So I imagine that this is the perfect apartment for a young family with a newborn, and I think you're going to love it as well. So first we're going to start in this common area of like living room slash office slash also dining room. Actually, there's a dining table, or at least there's going to be a dining table here as well. But first of all, I'm going to, or at least right now, I am trying to figure out the color scheme, the overall mood that I'm trying to achieve. So it's relatively simple. So I'm using colors that are associated with plants. So of course this very light pastel green. It's relatively light for my own tastes, but I think since I'm going to place a lot of plants everywhere around this apartment, I wanted to have this relatively soft base so that the items, specifically of course those plants, can pop out quite nicely. I am working mostly with, of course, the Eco Lifestyle pack, but also with Tiny Living, and of course there are some other items as well, but I think that those two are probably the most prominent, simply because they contain items that have this very lovely orangey wood color, and I think it just works so nicely with this overall color scheme. So we're working with oranges and greens, and we're also introducing, golden hues every now and then. They're not dominant here, but I think they also make the whole basically like interior pop in a very nice way. I tried to be at least a bit innovative with the way I was building, so you could see that I use this wall piece that's like filled with some cacti, I guess, as a TV stand, and I think it's quite interesting. And also like this wall right behind the couch, I combined the vertical lines from the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack, I think it's from that pack, with the mirror that's from Decor to the Max kit, and I think it's a relatively like a nice wall piece basically there right above the couch. And that's not something that I usually do, because I usually put some like picture there or like some canvas, but I think this looks nice and neat and very clean as well. Here you can see me struggling a bit, or rather like being indecisive of how I want to like connect the office area to the living room. In the end, I'm going to decide to destroy like the wall itself, and I'm just going to keep these vertical lines there and divide the space in this specific way. I think I might moving it at some point, but maybe not, maybe it's going to stay that way. So here you can see that every now and then I'm just going to place some items that I think, oh well, maybe this would look better in the different rooms. So you will see me as you usually do. I think if you have watched more of my videos, you're used to it by now, but I might be like jumping from one room to the other to see where it would fit the best. So we're still here now in the living room. We're just going to add these coffee tables, some artwork, and I think that might be soon it for this part. Oh yes, here comes the indecisiveness, let's say. So I am really jumping from one room to the other, decorating or like adding some color to the walls. I'm right now in the bedroom and I think I'm going to stay here for a while. And at first I wasn't entirely sure what to do. I still, like, at this point I didn't know or didn't like have any particular story behind this build in my mind, just plants. That was all. Like, yeah, I need a lot of plants and like a very modern look. So I knew that this space is relatively big, that I have to somehow incorporate more items in here so that it doesn't look so empty, specifically because the living room is smaller than this room. So I think it very much made sense to make this room, I mean the bedroom, more lived in. And I think I managed to achieve this. I think it's wonderful that it's connected to the balcony, although unfortunately you cannot decorate the balconies here. So that one remained empty there, because you can't do much about that when you don't have any mods. But I think it's very, it made a lot of sense to me, because you have way more windows in the other areas, so here it just looks very nice and bright. So I am trying to decorate this space using those like nice wood tones and a lot of plants with some pops of yellows. And oh yes, I'm going to do this. I forgot. I made the space smaller. That was the like clever idea I had. Interesting. Or I'm not going to do it. I am going to do it this way, right? Yeah, I'm going to reorganize this whole thing. Oh, that's why it didn't make any sense like a couple minutes ago when I was talking about the wall divider and saying, oh, this might change, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I just moved the whole freaking room, so yeah, it did change. Sorry for that. Sometimes even though like I edited this video a couple of days ago, I clearly have like the memory of a goldfish, so I don't remember these things that much. I like remember the process and I remember, oh yeah, I've done this. And then other parts of the process are completely gone from my brain. And so yeah, I apologize for that. Just know that I built this maybe 2 years ago, so that explains it. But still, I like edited this video maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago, so I should remember, and well, I haven't. But I clearly kept the wall divider there. I've done this like, I think quite a smart thing where at one point or like on one tile it's actually attached to the wall itself, and then it continues into the space and it divides the space nicely, right? I think that's like a really good way how to do this, and I think it looks nice right now. Like the fireplace just fits there so nicely, and it doesn't feel so cramped like it did before. So overall, I'm very happy with this decision. So it seems that now we're going to finish decorating the living room, at least I hope so. I, as you can see, made a couple of changes. I think maybe that the TV was too small and like sizing it up didn't make a lot of sense, so that's why I've used this like wall mounted one, but I still kept the wall piece item from the Eco Lifestyle pack and placed a TV remote there. I am making up my mind about the carpet again, my favorite carpet. And you could have noticed that I've already tried to use this coffee table and I didn't at that point, but now it's back and I think it fits very nicely. It has this ever so slightly golden hue in it as well, which I think it just looks very, very nice. Here is the promised dining table. It's relatively simple, it's just for 2 people, but like I said, this is an apartment for a very young family with a baby, so you don't need basically more chairs in there. So I am just decorating the space. I know I'm going to change some more items in here. I'm just going to make a couple of changes, but not yet, clearly. So we're back in the bedroom, and now I think it has like a more logical, it's probably not the right word, but yeah, let's say more logical like size. So we kept this part of the build basically the same, but we're going to change this part of the wall, and it suddenly all made sense and it suddenly fit nicely, and I very much enjoyed decorating the space. So here we have this corner dedicated to the baby, so we have this crib. I'm also adding some plushies here and there, and here I thought that maybe this item from the Eco Lifestyle, once again, like I said, the Eco Lifestyle is the most necessary pack for this build. So this like wall shelf, yeah, I think it's a shelf, is absolutely amazing. I thought it made a lot of sense to put a lot of like baby stuff here and there, so it's basically all filled with diapers and bottles and all kinds of items that you might need when you have a baby. I think it looks quite nice thinking like that it's here on display. It very much makes the whole space look like this is the space for the baby. Now I'm placing this tray from, and I think that's Vintage Glamour. Yeah, it's Vintage Glamour, on the bedside table. And this item, it was not necessarily something that I would use, that I would think of using rather, but I was inspired by the shower tub combo that we have in the bathroom. And since that curtain in that bathroom has this beautiful, beautiful purple flower, it only made sense to bring it to the other rooms as well. So that's why we have that tray in the bedroom. And even though a different shade of purple, but you can see it right now, we have another plant in a very similar color also in the living room. And I think it makes the whole space very nice and cohesive, and I very much enjoyed that. By the way, that shower tub combo is absolutely gorgeous. I love this swatch. So now it seems that we might finally move on to the kitchen. Surprisingly, I kept it as the very last room to decorate. I'm not saying that I always start with the kitchens, usually not. I'm usually starting with living rooms, but I have to admit that the kitchen was probably like the hardest one for me, because I wasn't entirely sure what kind of items I was going to use. In the end, I combined these Dream Home Decorator counters with the fridge and the stove from Jungle Adventure, since these items, I mean those from Jungle Adventure, have some wonderful swatches, and the yellow just genuinely made sense here to me. I've also used those cubes from Dream Home Decorator. Yeah, I'm just going to change the swatches to the all wood swatch. And since this is a relatively, once again, small space, and I had to, of course, kept some counters free so that your Sims can prepare their meals, I thought it would be like a nice way how to, once again, introduce some more decorations and, still letting the whole build be pliable. As always, my builds and apartments and everything I create in The Sims is playtested, so feel free to grab this from the gallery if you wish, and yeah, you can play with this apartment. I would just like to point out, let's say, that you can see that this apartment basically underwent one of the neighborhood action plans, which is the modern development, I think, that changes the whole structure of that building, and it changes the windows. So thought that I would point that out. If you want to use this apartment, please first change the neighborhood action plan so that it works. Otherwise you would have different doors and windows, and I'm not entirely sure how that would look. So that's just a very quick friendly reminder. So we should be finishing with the kitchen soon, I think. I'm just going to place some last items here and there. I'm going to decorate those cubes. And as always, I'm finding some items that I consider useful for the different rooms. So That's why we were in the bedroom for quite a short time. But I think that soon we should... Oh yeah, now we're decorating. Oh, I thought we were going to the bathroom, but first we are decorating this dining area. I think it looks so good. Like, just adding this in the corner of the room, it makes the whole space so much nicer. So I'm also bringing it here into the bathroom, and I am decorating with it. The bathroom is actually quite cluttered, but I think it just fits nicely in the overall apartment, and I think it's absolutely great. So with that, I am going to wish you all the most wonderful day that you can have. I want to, of course, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for watching this video, for watching any of my videos. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Of course, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you wish to do. And I thank you so much. Like I said, this apartment is going to be available on the Sims 4 gallery. My ID there is Bohemian_Ronnie. So if you wish to like bring this apartment into your own gameplay, feel free to do so. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and hopefully see you all soon in my next videos. Bye!